What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. I want to talk about the Atlanta Falcons because I think that they're going to win their division. Straight off top, I think they're the best team in their division. They finally got a quarterback. They got two quarterbacks, actually. I don't agree with having two quarterbacks the way they did it, but they got two quarterbacks, and they got a starting legit top 15 quarterback in Kirk Cousins, who I think is going to elevate their offense from the bottom of the barrel that it was last year into being top 7-ish this year, depending how things go health-wise. But I think that they're the best team in their division. I'm going to break down why. Let me know in the comments if you agree that they're the best team in their division. If you don't know who their division is, you have the Atlanta Falcons, you have the Carolina Panthers, you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the New Orleans Saints. Now, some of those teams are competitive, some of them are not. But I like the Falcons the most, and we're going to break down why. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you like this kind of content. Please like the video. But they got a quarterback. They finally have a quarterback. I think you have to start there when you talk about them because they're one of those teams that was so bad last year in so many different offensive categories strictly because of play calling, because Arthur Smith was a terrorist, and Desmond Ridder was awful last year. Now they've managed to add a legit quarterback to the fold. To put it simply, the offense struggled to do pretty much of anything. They struggled to throw the ball, they struggled to keep drives alive and sustain drives, and they were terrible in the red zone. They were bottom 3 in red zone TD percentage. Basically, that means anytime they got inside the 20, they were the third worst team in the league in terms of putting up 6 or 7 points instead of 3 or 0. So they just didn't have the juice that way, and it was strictly off of the fact they couldn't throw the ball. No team feared it, ever. They were locked in on Bijan or Algier, whoever they had on the field. They were locked in on those guys, and then occasionally Drake London. But they weren't really all that worried about it because they knew if the ball was thrown his way, it was probably 10 yards over his head. So ultimately, now you have a quarterback that's accurate, and yes, he is coming off of an Achilles injury, which is a very severe thing, but he's not a mobile guy. I don't expect that to be an issue for him into the season, and they have a top 5 O-line. So they're going to be protecting him at a pretty high level, and he's going to be able to get the ball out quick, which Ridder would hold on to it way too damn long, get strip sacked, get sacked, he'd throw picks under pressure. It was all bad. Now they have a little bit more of a veteran presence there. Not even a little bit. They have a lot more of a veteran presence there that's going to read the defense ahead of time and avoid those issues. Now we got Kirk out the way. And the O-line, because I think the O-line is solid. It's legit. It's going to keep guys upright. Bijan Robinson's about to have the best year, and he's only played 1 year, but this is going to be an awesome year for him. I think he's going to be probably the second best running back in the league at the end of next year. I think talent-wise he already is, but you got to have the numbers and the statistics. Everybody understands that. And he can catch, he can block, he can run, he's elusive as hell, he's strong, everything you need in a running back. He's going to be amazing this year. I'm like so dead set on that. I argue with a wall if you disagree. And then Drake London's finally going to get a QB that can throw the ball. He's finally going to be, when he's open, the ball's going to be there. The ball's not going to be there 2 seconds after he's open. It'll be there on time. And Drake London, I think he's going to have a great year. Darnell Mooney's added into the fold. The free agent signing, I like that pickup. He's going to be able to stretch the field and do a lot of the the mid routes, under crossers. He's going to do a lot of that stuff for them, and I think it's going to be nice. Kyle Pitts is back from injury. There's been a hype train on him for several years now, it feels like, but when you don't have anybody that can throw you the ball, you can't really show out. So he should be in line for a breakout. They ultimately are going to have 3 guys on breakout watch with Bijan, who I think you could argue has already broken out and has proven that he's really damn good, Drake London, and Kyle Pitts. I also like that they added Rondell Moore, too. It's just a little small side note. I think he's going to be really good for wide receiver screens. He can make some plays, tiny out there, but he can make plays. But we do got to talk about the defense, too, because the defense, for the most part, was middle of the pack last year. Middle to, upper, how do we put this? They were top 20 is how I would put it. They didn't have a lot of great success, but you got to be honest, they were on the field a lot because the offense couldn't sustain drives. They really just kind of held in there. They have a lot of good players on their defense too. AJ Terrell's awesome. Jesse Bates is awesome. Grady Jarrett's coming back. There's others too, but those are the main core guys. And they were just middle of the pack last year. And they actually did a pretty good job in the red zone. So if they're not on the field for 65 to 70% of the game, I think you'll get a better performance. It's pretty much addition by subtraction. But ultimately, they're going to win their division, in my opinion. I think they're going to win it with 12 wins. 12 wins is what I have them at right now. And if we go through the schedule is cake. Schedule is cake, let's be honest. Week 1 against Pittsburgh, we don't even know who's going to be the quarterback. And if so, it may not even be good anyway. I think that's a dub. So you're off 1-0. Then you play Philly. I'll say that's a loss. You're 1-1. Play the Chiefs in week 3. I would say that's a loss. Defending champs, got to give them the respect. 1-2. But then you're going to play NOLA, a division rival. I think that's a win, though, in week 4. So you're 2-2. I think week 5 you play Tampa. I think you beat Tampa in that game. That puts you at 3-2. Then you're going to play Carolina. I think Carolina is going to be bad yet again. You win that game in week 6. You're 4-2. Play Seattle week 7. I think that's a dub. You're 5-2. Then you're going to play Tampa again. I think this game is in Tampa for week 8. I'll say that's a loss because I do think Tampa is going to be competitive next year for sure. Then you're going to play Dallas. I do think that's a loss. I think Dallas will still be really good next year, even though their contract situations are a mess. Then you're going to get NOLA in week 10. I think that's a dub. You're going to play Denver in week 11. I think that's a dub. I don't think Denver has their life figured out at all. We told you got a bye. You have a bye in week 12. So ultimately, going into your bye, I have you at like 7-4, give or take on that, right? Then week 13, you're going to play the Chargers. I think they beat the Chargers. And then you're going to play week 14 against Minnesota. It's going to be Kirk Cousins' little homecoming. I do think you win that game. Then you're going to play the Raiders. I like the Raiders a little bit. The defense, they added a lot. And I think they're going to be one of those teams that's really tough to beat. Zamir White could be really good next year. And, Gardner Minshew is stable at quarterback. So I do think that is a loss in that case. Then you're going to play week 16 against the Giants. That's a dub. Week 17 against the Commanders. That's game. It feels weird because I like Jaden Daniels, and I think that's going to be one of those guys that goes off this year. But I do think it's a dub. And then week 18, you finish against the Carolina Panthers. Another dub. So ultimately, and my give or take is 12-5. Now I think 12-5 is probably the high side. And then 11-6 is probably the average, and then 10-7 is the bottom. Ultimately, double-digit wins. I think they win their division. I think they're going to go to the playoffs. I think they're going to have a home playoff game. And I think you're going to get a great year out of Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Tyler Algier will have great moments. Kirk Cousins will be back. The offensive line will be good. The defense won't be on the field all the damn time. I think it's just going to be a good year. But anyway, let me know in the comments if you agree with my 12-5 prediction or the fact that I think they're going to win the division. If you disagree, let me know as well. I want to know where we're at on the Falcons because I think they're going to be really, really damn solid. And they're going to be a playoff team. That's just my bold, hot. I don't even think it's that bold of a prediction. I think they're the best team in their division, and I think they're going to prove it. So anyway, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you like this kind of content. Please like the video. Really, really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. I'm done. Peace.